Great day. Welcome to the room. It is your girl, Raquel May David, with your co-host, David Sanchez. We are here to help you with the pro of the world's most advanced and effective AI-powered credit repair software. So today is the pro night. I like to give a little time for people to kind of get in the room. So right now we do have an open forum. If you guys have any questions, concerns, or comments, please, please, please go ahead and get started. Hey, Stevie, welcome to the room. Strategic Wealth Builders. Is it Chantelly? I could be saying that a little bit wrong because my accent came out, but forgive me. If you guys have any questions about the platforms, any concerns, I am here. The floor is open until 7:10 to give time for all questions to be answered. This is an opportunity to go over any questions you have about the platform, any questions you have, whether you guys are using the pro or you're just starting out with the free and you've just upgraded to the pro. I'll be happy to answer any of those questions. If you don't have any questions at all, then we're going to give you your time back, but we want to make sure that the floor is open. Excuse me, if you have some questions. How's everybody's day going? Any questions?
One of your techniques works. All of them, of course, but the one in particular.
Which one?
You know that one where you say that they can't report the late payment?
Oh, you use that already?
And I thought, I like you're pretty, but you know what? It's not going to work. There's no way they're going to reverse all the late payments. They reversed 6 late payments on all 3 bureaus for one of my student loan customers.
I just want to ask. So, did you post it in the group?
No.
Oh,
So I will though.
We can't celebrate. So, win of the day, just in case you guys are here, win of the day is Stevie got late payments corrected for his client, and we are super duper excited for Stevie. Let's go, Stevie.
I didn't believe it would work, but you're right. I need to use that more often. Instead of delete the account, it's so much better because now the account's still there.
Mm-hmm. And it's still helping them in the ratio because now they still have an installment showing and they have a revolving, which means that they're getting the full, if they have a credit card, they're getting that full 55 points in that particular range. So you're not really putting them at a disadvantage. Did you also, do you know how to help your clients with student loan, setting up for the student loan repayment plan or the student loan forgiveness?
Kind of. I've been following you on that, and then there's some student loan people on TikTok. The rules are all over the map right now with that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I can imagine. There are different sequences, but I do tell everyone to apply for the save if you have the ability to. If you have the Pell and if you have the federal and the grant money, I think is how it was working, could still apply. So I'm telling everyone to still fill out for it. I do know that there are different individuals that are in that business. My question that I would have is, Stevie, do you follow one person or do you follow multiple people when it comes to that student loan stuff?
Just one main guy who's an attorney doing it, but mainly I just listen to what you say because you seem to synthesize it really well. But no, but I didn't know, but they did change the law.
They did. And right now, what is the best part of student loans is the way that the law was changed was that right now they can only take up to 10% of your discretionary income. So if your clients they're paying their bills, they have their kids, all of that stuff, they have the ability to, number one, possibly get a 0 repayment plan. Now, what people don't remember is that they have to do that repayment plan option every year. Like that is something that they have to apply for every single year, until either the debt is forgiven or wiped away, right? But that save option is available. So don't let people sleep on the opportunity to take advantage of that if they can. That is, if you guys are doing that as a service to kind of just get them on and make sure that they do it, that can be a fee service. So don't sleep on it, okay? But I think the rule was if you made less than like 60,000. I don't remember the numbers anymore. I did post it before, but there are certain people that auto qualify depending on how many people they have in their household and what they're earning, that they're automatically qualifying for a zero repayment plan. And if they apply for the SAVE package, they're eligible to um, get their student loan forgiven. So don't sleep on those options. So any questions, guys? Stevie has a win. Does anyone else have a win that they would like to share? Or any questions about the Dispute Panda platform? Okay, this is a step one. Good, good, good. No questions? Okay. So I think we're gonna give it like 4 more minutes. If we don't have anything or you don't have anything else, Stevie, because I do you have any questions about the platform, Stevie?
No, I just I noticed that when it does the updates, you know, it tells you the updates
Mhm.
and then the total score increase, it doesn't seem to have the accurate total
Child,
sometimes.
yep, I reported that. I
Okay.
reported it.
Okay. But
Mhm,
but
because
but
that
but but it
happened to
does
me
list
too.
it in the history. In the history you can see it, but you know.
Yep, but what I noticed, and this is something that I noticed yesterday when I did some updates on some of my clients. Hold on, let me share the screen. I can't show my real clients right now, but um this is a dummy client. So yesterday I did a couple of updates, and when I was doing the updates for the clients, one of the things that I noticed is that when you're saying when you go to the history and you go to overall, you see the right number. But when I went to go hit download, I noticed the error. So last night I did send a message to the back office to be like, hey bro, this ain't working. Because when I hit the share download option, all of this was saying negative. Did that happen to yours too, Stevie?
Yeah, and this is a recent error too, because it was working until like mid-March, and then all of a sudden like it started reporting like negative stuff, and like but it does do a good job of keeping the history. So you can
Yes.
see in the history tab.
Yes. So when you go over here, sometimes what I've noticed is when I switch to overall, the numbers are straight, but it takes a day. Like when I went back this morning, all of a sudden it was reporting correctly. So I would say check back like 24 hours.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. But I was 38 hot because I was going to post some fire now. I was going to post some fire and it didn't work. It didn't work. So we're good there.
Did they lower plus the fire? Did they lower the mail cost? It seems like it's a little bit cheaper.
Trent, David, I have questions about the mail too, big homie. I'm so glad Stevie brought it up because my memory bad like salt. So when I clicked on this the other day too, I noticed I feel like these numbers are a little bit lower. Or is that just happenstance, David, when it comes to the mail? Because I feel like it used to be 166 and now it's 144. You still have to pay for the additional. And don't get me wrong, if you're over, I think 10 page over 15 pages, you pay an additional, or over a certain amount of
I
pages, you pay
think
additional.
so. You have to pay additional, but let me ask Dominic, what is the problem there? Yeah, I think you're right.
No, I just feel like it went lower because I
Mhm.
remember having to pay. Now I'm gonna go check, but I'm with you too, Stevie. I noticed that
Yeah.
yesterday when I went to go send a couple of clients letters out, I was like, wait a minute. Did they drop the price on us a little bit? Now, I'm going to also candidly say I am definitely a person because even this, look at this one. It's $42, whether it's double sided or not. And remember, back in the day, they would charge us if we went single sided.
That's true. I noticed that double-sided is that, and what's weird is that color is actually something you don't want ever, because the Experian actually will not accept color documents. And the mail, that they'll like allow it, but
Mm-hmm.
like on their uploads and everything, and faxes and everything, they just, absolutely demand it's black and white. So I just do really crisp black and white, you know.
Mhm.
But I didn't
I
know
agree.
that they didn't like color. But color shouldn't even be an option. But maybe the people want it. I don't know.
I mean, well, so when Metro 2 went into play, having color was so that there was like a eye-catching, "Hey, this is what you need to look at." Um, Transparency, I have a color printer, so I always send off all my stuff go out in color if I'm printing it at home, okay? Unless like I'll go back and forth between my two printers. I don't necessarily have a problem if it's in black and white or if it's in color. But I just noticed that when the system before it used to charge us when we switched from double-sided to single-sided, because of course it's using more paper, but lately they have not been doubling the price. So I have noticed that as well, friend. I'm glad we're all on the same page that the
Yay.
price is a little. Now this one changed. Did you notice that? Look, this one when I went from double-sided to single, this one went up, but the other one at $42 didn't. So I don't know if it's the page count or what it is, but whenever the glitch be glitching, I'll be like, "Thank you. You can't charge me anymore." I confirmed at $42. So, but I know that David is still working with the rollout for the mail for the internal mail software, so the pricing is going to be of course change again, but I'm basking in the glitches that are happening in that arena. Hey Dante, welcome to the room, honey. Do you have any questions about the pro platform? This is an open forum to ask any questions about the platform altogether, so we can go ahead and answer any questions you have on the pro platform. Any questions? Nope. You just sit in the room, sitting up in my room.
Can I ask a CFPB question?
Sure, if I can answer it, I will.
How many rounds? Do you have to go multiple rounds with them if you have a really stubborn issue with a customer?
The most that I have done is 4 with
Oh,
CFPB. So if you're looking at the guide, they do 2 here, 1 in round 5 and 1 again in round 10. However, in the past, I have done a CFPB complaint round 5. I've done 1 round 7. I've done round 9. So I've not done a CFBB complaint since this new flow has come out. So, but in the past, have I done it? Yes.
how often do you space from the CFPB, regardless of the flow? I mean, I should be, unfortunately, with this one, I didn't do the flow, but for this customer because of a special situation. But
Yeah, understood.
do they, do they? So it's been about a month, and Experian and the other guys are just like, they just put it in for a dispute again. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, is there a way to ask? So do I just rewrite it? Do I have like ChatGPT help me rewrite it? Do I like send it in again? Do I send it certified? Or I mean,
Um, I haven't done a CFPB complaint in a little while, to be quite honest with you. But in the past, I would allow 60 days to go by. When I personally did it, I would allow 60 days to go by so that when I redid the complaint, I would also include the disputes that I did in between.
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so that when I'm going back in, I'm including the original disputes that I had, and the second time I'm going around, I'm including the new stuff that I did since I filed the CFPB complaint. Great question. Great question. Any other questions, guys? No questions? All right, so this is your time. If you guys have any questions about processing, working a file, In Dispute Panda, you guys can ask. If you have no questions, I promise you, y'all can go ahead and have a great Thursday. Because I promise you, me and David, we are out here starting trouble on on a Thursday. We are starting trouble on a Thursday. So if you guys have no questions, nothing that you need us to review or go over, Thursday nights are just really an open forum for you guys to be able to ask any questions that you have on the platform altogether.
Just a quick one. When is your next class again? I know you just said you sent some emails out.
Yep. So May 11th and 12th is the next boot camp. And the mentorship went live. We're not starting the mentorship until May 17th. But quick question. Stevie, did you get the login for the last boot camp that we went in? Because I put the
You know what?
course
I
and
did.
everything
I was
together.
traveling, but I'm gonna log
Okay.
into it. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I
Okay.
got
No, I
that.
just want to make sure because I'm like, I got to make sure my people are doing what they need to do for my people. But the next class is on the May 11th. If you guys refer anyone to the class, I do pay you guys affiliate payment if that person tells me that you referred them to come to the class. So that's how I make sure everyone gets some money while they're learning. I pay 50% commission off of whatever class that person signs up for. If you refer me out, of course. What else was I going to say? But yeah, it's May 11th and 12th is the next boot camp. Mentorship starts on the 17th. That is $37 a month for the mentorship. And in the mentorship, we are covering bonds. We're going to have some guest speakers that comes in, and we're going to have a first quarter challenge to work on Millionaire Weekend. So I am so super excited about that. $1 million weekend is the concept that we're going to be executing. Hey, welcome, Goat 910. How are you, my darling? What questions and concerns you have? Dante, you got a question?
Yeah.
What question you got today? We can't hear Dante, or is that just me? We can't hear you. Are you talking to us?
Okay, you know.
I can hear you now. Hello. Ooh, let me go to the chat. Let's see if we got something in the cheaty chat. I need help A to Z on how to give client access to the software. Ooh, great question. So if you're loading the client into the software, if you're loading this client into the software and it is the first time that you're putting the information, so you're on the call, you went over their credit score, they're like, oh yeah, I'm ready to sign up. You plug their information in here and you click on this button here that says Save Client Access. It will send your client the email to whatever email address that you've put in here. Okay. And that way they will be able to go ahead and log in. They will get an email with a button for them to log into. Once they click on the button, it will automatically send them into the portal and they'll be able to complete the contract. Oh, Dante, in the message, can you advise me if you were able to get the contract? Because if not, I'm gonna drop the contract in the chat so you can grab it today. I don't know if you emailed me because I didn't see an email come through. So if you cannot email me, you can get it from the community. All you have to do is type in contract at the community and it will literally take you here. The contracts are there and you can download the contract. So I don't want you to feel like you can't. But if if you're doing it on the phone right then and there, you click this button here that says invite client to Safe Client Access, and they will automatically be able to come in. If not, let's say you already have the client in the system and now you want to give them Safe Client Access, you can go ahead and click on this option and send them the Safe Client Access invitation. If you want them to sign up and complete everything on their own, the first thing that you would have to do is create a payment plan as to what the payment plan is. So I want to clarify whether you're creating an onboarding form or a full sign up form where they're going to make the payments themselves, you still have to make sure you create a payment form, because the sign up form will not allow the process to go through without you telling it what plan you're giving them. So, and I'm going to explain what the difference is. So I have two forms here. So this one right here is an onboarding and payment form. So when I go ahead and go here, this gives the ability for the person to enter their email, rock with you at fakemail.com, right? And then they can put their names in. Once they've put in all their information, they can then click here to use for the same billing address. And then, and let me just walk through so you can see it. Raquel May. Okay, so let's say I click this and then I go ahead and hit continue. I can put my card information and I can collect the payment. Once this is done, it will go into the system and then they'll be able to get all their information on the form. Now, if I'm choosing to just onboard them, which means I've already an onboard form is a form where you're just collecting information for the person as a lead. So you would have to collect their email address. So rock with you at fakemail.com. And then you're just collecting their basic information. But if you're wanting the client to do that on their own, you have to come here. You have to tell the system what your plans are. How much are you going to charge per month? Once you've created your payment plan, you can then go ahead and create your payment forms, whether you just want to do a lead magnet where you're getting people in, or you want to do an onboarding and payment option. Does that make sense? So this is where you would start. And also this is where you collect your merchant service. So just for transparency, you have to have your merchant service live for it to be able to do the payment form for you. GOAT 910, where is the 14-day blueprint? I'm not quite sure what blueprint you're speaking of. I do know that we have a training module. So we do have, whether you're on the homepage or not, you do have the training module. You can go ahead and download the free guide in order for you to go ahead and review it. But I don't know of a full training model, if that makes sense. The credit repair business from, are you talking about the credit repair business blueprint? Is that what you're speaking of? The credit repair business blueprint has been off of the system since January. The announcement was made last year that as of January 1st, 2024, the business blueprint was no longer going to be available. Great question. Question for Dante was the payment processor question. Right here on the screen, when you click on it, there's an option that says connect a merchant service. So you would click this option here, and that way you'd be able to connect a merchant service. If you don't have a merchant service, you click on this button here. It will take you to the application for proven for you to be able to do it that way. All right. Question in the chat was, could I get the old one dropped in the chat? So we don't, myself, David, no one has access to it because it has been unlinked. So it was a promotion, just like right now, the promotion that we have is that 14 days for $1. for the pro, that can last or be taken away at any time. So it was something that was provided. You guys had access to it. And then Dominique basically let everyone know that, hey, we're going to pull it away. Now, from my understanding, there is going to be a new like CRBB that is going to be launched later on this year. Until then, I've been doing the mentorship coaching outside of, but right now the CRBB is not an option. It's no longer linked to the pro as a promotion. It was taken away. But thank you for the question. Any other questions, Mr. Goat, Dante, or Mr. S? Hey, Mr. S, welcome to the room, love. What questions do you have?
I'm just listening to take, trying to get familiar with the pro side.
Okay, cool. Hold on one second. Give me 1 second. Let me switch over. Okay, so give me 1 second. Can we go over the recommended dispute flow and suggest tactics for removals? So if you click on the training tab, it will open up to this training model. If you click the free download, it will actually give you the most up-to-date flow that we're currently recommending. If you would like to use the old flow, that is completely fine. But the old flow had certified mail and things of that nature. We basically streamlined it because clients were getting confused as to which one was the best one to leverage. So because of that, we came out with the new flow that's accessible, that when you click on the training tab, it's available. This flow can be used for charge off, repos, collections, anything that you have going on. But if you have specific questions, like on a specific file that you might have, and you want to talk it out to see how you're doing and if there's anything additional you can add to it, it'd be my pleasure to give you my feedback on what I do to those files. But I would need it to be a little bit more specific as to what you want me to hone in on. But as far as the flow goes, this is the flow that I'm using for all of my clients, whether they have repo, bankruptcy, charge off, or collections. Did you drop the disclosure service agreement? Oh, hang on 1 second. Let me exit this full screen. It looks like you're on the phone, so that's why I was telling you to grab it or to shoot me an email, Dante, because I don't know if you're going to be able to save the contract on the phone since that's what it looks like you're on. But it is my pleasure to go ahead and drop it in the chat again for you and let me know if you grab it. Otherwise, you can definitely get a copy of the contract when you go to the Dispute Panda community. So I did drop that in the chat. Do you have any suggestions on pricing, promo, etc.? So my question would be, when you say pricing, how much are you charging your clients right now for credit repair? And have you done, so one of the things that I tell everyone in my mentorship program is the first thing is you want to see what the market is currently offering in your area. What is the pricing point? Also be very clear that your pricing point is going to be enticing to a certain caliber of client, right? So check your area, find out what people in your area are charging, and make sure that you're looking to see, okay, this is what they're charging, and then come back and look at your overhead. What are you paying out for your paper, your ink, your toner? If you guys are new, that's okay. What I normally recommend is looking at the cost of the letter. So does your client use credit dyno, which means you get the round of attack completely free? Or does your client use like Identity IQ or Smart Credit? Because now that's going to charge you $17 a month. So the way that Dispute Panda Pro is working is you're able to get the creditor letters, the creditor letters, and of course the static letters, all of that for free in the event they're using Credit Dyno. If they're using another credit monitoring software, you do not get the creditor letters and you have to pay $17 for the round. So when you're looking at pricing, it would have to depend on what your overhead is. Then I would normally look at what you're expending, divide that by 10, and that be your start base. And then once you get a little bit more seasoned, I'm going to tell you the trick that my mom said was to up your cost after you have like 5 to 10 people, not necessarily up, but reevaluate if you're making the right amount of money at that time. So after you get 5 to 10 people, go back in and see, hey, is this the amount that I want to pay myself? Do I have the money to the side for my taxes? Do I have the money to the side for my marketing? Am I able to take all of that plus the overhead that I have? Because remember, off the top, if you're in pro, you're already paying $197, right? Then you have to worry about the paper, the ink, unless you're making the system mail it out for you. Then you want to make sure that the cost for the mailing is also kind of calculated in your numbers as well. But I always say start with market research. What are the 3 major companies that you would say would be your competition? What are their pricing? And do you like that pricing structure? And when you calculate that, does that cover paying you and paying all of your bills? Dante says, does it usually take all 12 rounds? No, it doesn't. It depends on your client's needs, but Dispute Panda wanted to give you a clear flow for the full 12-month window in the event you needed it. That's why that was put up. $99 a month is not a bad price. My question would be, so if you're at $99, just to cover the cost of the platform, you need 2 clients a month, right? So that's not including you having to pay taxes. That's not included if you want a marketing budget. That's not including how much you would pay yourself. So if you're charging $99 a month, at minimum, you need 2 people to cover the platform for you. Ideally, give me 1 second. Calculator, thank you. So 99, ideally, if you have 10 people, that means that you're making $990, right? So if that's the core, if that's the core number you're working with, I would then look, okay, so my 197 covers my platform. Then you have to look at how much are you spending for ink? How much are you spending for paper? How much are you spending for stamps? For me, I am a coupon lover and I follow multiple people that talk about discounts and savings. I don't purchase, even though I have an HP printer, I do not buy authentic HB ink because just for one cartridge is $27. I buy the refurbished ones, like the reusable ones. And for a whole pack of XL, it comes out to be $37 for me. So again, I find more cost-effective ways. Ooh, why they turning that light pink, y'all? I find more cost-effective ways for me to go ahead and achieve what I'm looking for so that my overhead is as low as possible. Right? But I go to Amazon. Drop what in the chat, my love? I'm sorry. Which you want me to drop in the chat? My Amazon people? So you want to chat? You know, you got to tell me. Oh, I follow this guy on. Hold on. I can't drop him in the chat because I don't have. Listen. Okay, I can't be dropping stuff in the chat. Hold on. Let me tell my husband to do something for me. Hold on. Because now I gotta get y'all together. There's a guy that I follow. First of all, if you go to Amazon, and it's a simple fix, if you go to Amazon, you can actually get refurbished ink. Hold on. Give me 1 second. We're just gonna ask for my business. Hold on, y'all. So for me, I look at the low cost ways of doing things. So when I go to Amazon, when I purchase my ink, even though I get it refurbished at Amazon, I turn around and take those same empty ink cartridges to Office Max. I can turn in up to 10 of them and I get $10. You have 90 days to use those $10. So for me, I will go to Office Max. and I will go ahead and return the ink there, but then I will buy the paper on sale at Office Max, so that way I'm using probably $30 because I wait 3 months on the right before that 90-day hits. I then go ahead and buy paper from Office Max. So now instead of me paying for paper, my paper can be free, or I might pay $2 or $3 for it, right? So there are different ways that you can cut your overhead. Again, I'm a mother of 4. So it's imperative that I lower the amount that I have to spend at the end of the day. Give me 1 second. But oh, y'all gonna make me run through today. I see this. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. Thanks, hon. All right. So I buy my envelopes from Amazon. As you can tell, I buy my wigs. Don't worry about that. Okay. Just stay here for what's important. Let me see. My daughter was ordering a lot of stuff on here, I see. So right here, this is $20 for the Amazon paper. If I save up, hold on, you're gonna click it all the way over to this side. There we go. If I turn around and I save up, if I go ahead and I save up 3 months, the paper at Office Max, you can turn it on too. The paper at Office Max ends up being like $27. So I'll turn around and use that $10 that I've saved for the last 3 months, and I'll buy paper there. I normally don't buy ink there, but I always return my ink at Office Max so I can get my credit. Let me see. I'm trying to see what else. Okay, so this right here, guys, is the cost of my regular ink. Like if I wanted to buy ink that is Office Max approved, I mean, that's HP approved, this is what it's going to cost me. Well, I will turn around and find the vendors that have the same thing and see who's going to give me the same amount for cheaper. And then I just take this same document, I mean, the same cartridge, take it back to Office Max and get my money. So that you can do. The guy on Instagram that I follow, hold on, I'm going to try and see if I can find his info while we're on the call. There's one guy, you can search it in on like Instagram or Facebook. There's a lot of people that of course have affiliate stores, but he goes around and he tells you how you can, like, what is going to be discounted off. And sometimes it's 100% off, and sometimes it's only 90% off, but it still works out to be cheaper. So some of the items that I want to buy, especially if they have toner, ink, cartridges, things like that, I'll buy it for way cheaper from them. So those are some things that you guys can look around, because see, like this right here is only $32.99 versus me having to pay $57 for the item, right? So I always say try to see where you can find cheaper priced items for you to save on what you're trying to do. I can't find the guy right now, but when I do find him, I'll put him in the community so you guys can follow him as well.
Sorry, can I talk for a second?
You sure can. You could have been came off mute.
All right, sorry. You were giving some good information. I'm not
Thank
trying to
you.
make it about me, but it's all, I see 5 people in here, so I was like, all right, maybe I can
Yeah.
ask you some in-depth questions and stuff. So I'm newer to this space. I mean, my main background's in consulting. I kind of got in this when I was, I have a sober living spot when I was helping people with their credit and stuff. And then I did this for my own credit and started just doing friends and family. Because I was helping try and get people business funding. But now, like, I'm like, all right, let me just grow and scale because this has some potential and I'm getting a lot of pings and hits, right? But now I'm like, okay, I gotta basically redo my offer and see, because I've been using this system. I got a CRM too. That's another, like you said, another $100, right? So I'm probably in $300, and then I start doing Instagram, Facebook marketing, and shooting ads out. So now when I'm like, and now I'm guessing I want to kind of ask the community, and I know maybe I'm gonna just ask it straight out, which is like, I want some compelling, like to your point, cost breakdowns and structures That kind of makes sense, or because I like what you were saying, because at one point I was at I was charging 75, but then the hidden fee was, hey, use Credit Dino,
Mhm.
at $30 a month. And
Mhm.
I personally love it, but then I'm like, man, all right, how can I? And I got the affiliated marketing link too, so it's like, okay, cool, I get the free little disputes. I got like 20 still in my thing now, but I'm not physically yet. I was just having the system send it out and just take
Mhm.
the L, like, okay, I can make it in the back burner or whatever it is. But I really be trying to get my clients within 3 to 4 months, even though sometimes that's proven to be unrealistic,
Correct.
based on what it is.
Mhm.
So I want like in 99 was kind of there, but then I'm like, you're really paying 130, which to me is like that stingier price point because of whatever. And then I guess, sorry, I'm talking too much.
It's fine.
I'm trying to land the plane.
Take your
But
time.
like moving to, so I guess I had two targets, right? One, I was targeting the people with 700 that can get business funding because that's my higher ticket item.
Correct.
And then, my lower ticket item was credit repair. But then
Right.
I wanted the motivated customers that didn't want it too, because some people want it too quick, right, fast, and now because I'm about to buy a car. But I want the other people that is, oh, I'm waiting, but I'm prepping for a car, I'm prepping for a house. So I'm guessing I'm trying to have multiple price points because my main goal eventually is I partner with my buddy who has a foundation that's giving back to kids for, helping them with school. So I'm like, I got ebooks out there for students building their credit, but they're starting from scratch. They're starting at a 640. That's your average, right? When you're restarting your credit with nothing on it. And that's an easier build, right? And that's not really
Mhm.
credit repair. So I'm like, take my free service. Like take this, you can do this yourself. Cause that's another one of my things too, where um right now it's almost more cost beneficial to make them do it yourself, um, and charge them just like you said that digital product. Or I go to sleep, get my that in the funding book $97. I
Mhm.
get this credit repair book 35, no other overhead, like I'm doing on the other stuff. But I want to almost once I get to that point be able to have not a high ticket, but I want to say my high end pays for my low end
Mhm.
where I'm able to get to the community. Okay, the sober living people, the people that just really need the help in the credit repair, and it's gonna take a while. I can give them services almost at cost,
Mhm.
but I still want to be able to make some money on the back end. To your point, to cover all my expenses and make a little bit of money too. I'm not doing it full time yet, but I am getting to the point where I'm staffing up VAs from my other businesses and having them start doing some of this processing, following the flows, and etc.
Mhm.
Um, but I guess I'm trying to see what other compelling um, arguments people are having. Because even with my calls, I was taking those and I was having, like you said, the free consultations, 30 minutes, and then
Mhm.
going through it. But then I'm like, shit, like if you're on there all day, you only get $200. I don't know.
So what's your enrollment fee?
I think I had it at $50.
So again, so what okay. Okay, question. Enrollment fee is $50, monthly is 90. You want to tear it out. Okay. I hear you talking about Facebook marketing and all that other stuff. Have you done just organic marketing and not pushed it on
No,
putting any money towards it just yet?
no.
So is it okay for me to tell you what I'm thinking? Let me
Yes, go
say that. Okay.
run.
Because listen, I be speaking with love, but I want to make sure it's okay for me to just,
Just tell me the nitty
give you the
gritty. Hit
talk.
me in the face. I'm ready.
So first thing is credit repair is a lot easier and a lot faster for you to scale. Again, people are going to be people if you focus on the people who you have in front of you. So number one, you have business clients that are already in your Rolodex. Instead of paying for people because that has been your bread and butter, you've been doing consulting, I would tap into the people that you already have. You already have
Okay.
a client base there. So instead of making it where it's more complicated for you to put money behind it, you already have people that know, like, and trust you. They've worked with you before. Let them know, hey, I'm paying for referrals. Any person that signs up with me, you get paid $35. Or you can turn around and say, any person that signs up with me, I will credit whatever you owe me X amount of dollars. So now you're spending absolutely no ad capital, and all you're doing is touching the people who are already primary in your circle anyway, that know you to be in these streets. So now you're adding credit onto the mix. Why not? Right. So that would be number one. That would be how I would attack it first, instead of putting, let me stop sharing my screen because we ain't talking about the screen right now. Okay. Instead of putting money into marketing straight off the bat, especially with something that you're building from the ground up, start doing organic reaches. And this is something that I talk about in my mentorship program and give different tools. But as of right now, what I can tell you is that, why are you putting money towards stuff if you have people in the streets that already know what you're doing? Why aren't you sending them messages and saying, hey, tell your friends, tell your family, and here's how it's going to benefit you for you doing that? And then when you're paying out for referrals, you don't pay out until the person has stayed with you for 90 days. So make sure you're making it aware that they not only have to sign up, but they have to stay with me for 90 days. So now you're not taking money out of your overhead. You're taking money out of the money that you're earning from your client. And if one client sends you another client, so I'm a client, I send you Santana, instead of giving me a $35 cash payout, I might tell you, take it off my next month of payment.
Yep.
So instead of paying the full amount next month, I'm only paying less, right?
Okay.
So that's a great way for you to build your pipeline, for you to talk to the people that you already talk to anyway. Number two, my first work fee, and this is why I say, what kind of research have you done? Is everyone else in your area charging that price? Is everyone else first work fee? So my enrollment fee is what I call first work fee. That consultation that you did with me, for me, I have a full conversation where I break down the full credit report for them, the 5 factors that are keeping them where they are. And then I give them, what are the things that you need to work on in the next 60 to 90 days while you're with me? So we're not touching anything until you have focused on these specific areas on this consultation call. And then the next 30 days, I'm reiterating what I already told them, because I know they wasn't listening.
Okay. So my
Right?
question, so 2 things.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I'm gonna be asking personal questions. You okay with that?
You fine. You fine.
All right. So so when you're getting these clients that booking, right? Because my calendar through the leads or whatever, I can stay booked, through the days. Obviously, tired kickers, bullshitters, whatever it is, right?
Mhm.
So when you get on this consultation call, I guess, how are you handling that? Where you're looking at their credit report? Are you already importing it from Credit Dino, or like how are you, like,
You
what is
don't
your
book a call
what is
with me
your
until you send me. So in my consultation, when you book a consultation with me, it tells you that you are required to send me your credit report before you jump on the call. I
Okay.
am required to have your credit report. So you are supposed, if you don't have Credit Dino, because I have people book calls and they'll be like, well, I already have Identity IQ. I let them know that's completely fine. You can send me the Identity IQ login information that I need so I can do an audit before you get on the call. Because if we're constricted to 30 minutes and I have 500 people coming, I don't have time to be looking at your credit report, right?
Yep.
In
Yep.
that moment. I don't. Like,
That's true. That's
my
true.
mind is bad. I got gray hair all over here. Don't let this wig fool you now.
I
It's a lot
got
of
you.
gray over here. Okay, I'm
I got
vintage.
you.
I'm a good vintage
Okay.
Chanel purse.
I love it. I love it.
So you need to get me your credit report before we even get on the call. That's number one.
Okay.
Number two, if they do not get it to me when we are on the call, we not going nowhere. If I accept you into my room, right, and we have a conversation, and you
Yep.
have no credit report for me to
Yep.
look at, we're not pulling it up. I'm not having a conversation, because for me, I look at credit reports all day. So for me, it's not a big deal for me to look at your credit report. Like, I was having a conversation with another person in credit repair, and they were like, well, I don't understand why the credit score, I started out with a higher credit score and now my credit score is lower. I was like, I can tell you it's your utilization, because just from
Mhm.
looking at reports, I was able to know, like, you had a lower utilization and now you maxing out. Like, you're at
Yep.
97%, you were at 42 in the beginning. That's why your score was higher,
Yep.
right? But if you don't know the mix and the breakdown of what the actual credit report is, how is that sucker calculated? If you don't have that information, our consultation, I don't seem like I'm worth it for you. Does that make sense? Because I'm not leaving you, not once I get your pain point and I know that you need credit repair, right? I know that you know that your credit sucks. What am I giving you when you leave? Because even if you don't sign up for me telling you, you need to focus on paying down these 3 cards. And let's say you don't have the money to pay me right now. You can focus on those 3 cards. And then in 3 months, when you're thinking about doing credit repair, I'm the person that you're thinking about going to, because I've given you that information. So having the consultation, having the call, giving them an action plan, that's how I run my business. Completely up to you guys how you want to do it, but that's just something that I definitely do. Another thing that I would ask you is, do you have a DIY offer? With the amount that you're charging, again, do your research, how much our first work or enrollment fee is, how much our monthly fees in your area, but also, do you have a clear idea of how much your DIY is? Because for what you're talking about when it comes to eating the cost, I don't eat anything except for chicken, shrimp, beef, fish, marshmallows. That's what I eat. Go where you went from. We was having a good dialogue. Don't just leave me here by myself.
Oh, sorry, man. I
You
put
see how
myself
Go
on.
done left me, Santana.
Sorry. So this is how I, like you said. So my thing with I do the 35 for my do it yourself credit repair ebook or whatever, and I walk you through that, like, and then for me with the utilization, I always tell people.
So wait, before you go further, run back for me. What do you give them with the DIY? How does your DIY program work?
So my DIY, I basically educate you on the credit, and then I give you templates to send out the letters.
What kind of templates?
Just the regular ones, not the regular ones. Like, you're disputing this late payment, you're disputing this, you just kind of like, hey, generic, if you're attacking your credit, use these.
Oh, that's a good question. So why don't you give them credit dyno? I'm sorry, why don't you give them dispute panda letters?
I can.
So, okay. Just wondering if that was an option. So you're saying for your so for your DIY, they pay $35 a month and they get the ebook, or is it
No,
that
they
one-time
just
payment?
pay just one-time payment of 35.
Okay.
Like, this is a person I'm saying, hey, do it yourself. Like you said, hey, I know my shit's fucked up. I'm gonna work on it. What are the steps? What letters do I send? Because everybody's nervous to send this letter, to do this, or do anything about crappy credit, especially when they talk about removing late payments, doing this, that, and the other. So I kind of just lay it out to them like, hey, you can do this yourself,
Right.
And this is your information. If you're not comfortable giving out this information, even though your credit crappy, go do these steps.
Because who's stealing from you if your credit's crappy? Let me just ask you
Exactly.
that.
But that's why the good thing about it, most people, because my buddy, when I first started this, he said, people give you information. I said, what you gonna do? The credit is shitty. You're gonna be looking at 400 or 500 all day. So that was my thing with that, where I was like, okay, that's $35. That's on autopilot. And then I'll put like, hey, this is how you can, your removal fees, all this X, Y, and Z, kind of the game for that.
Right. Okay, so you're doing that. So you do the one time. So I'm just trying to process through everything that you're saying. Sorry. Right. Quick question. Before I continue, Go. The answer to the question, Dante, is that strategically depends on where you are. I'm going to tell you that my clients stay with me between 6 to 12 months. So or the credit file, when it comes to credit repair, because it sounds like everyone's kind of new, you cannot give someone a guaranteed time frame. Okay. So when it comes to credit repair, depending on everyone's file, it's going to be different. I've had clients that's come with me, they've hit their goal number because their goal number was, 600, a 600 credit score, 620, a 680. Depending on where they were when they started with me, they might be with me for 3 to 4 months. My contract states, because I'm in the state of Texas, I am required to have a 6-month contract. I cannot tell you if that contract is what everyone else is going to do, but that is the minimum. On average, my clients are normally with me 6 to 8 months. The longest person has been with me was 24 months, and that was because they had a different goal. Circling back to Mr. Goat, what was your next question? I want to make sure I answered all of them, because I know we talked DIY, we talked numbers. You're going to do the
DIY.
research on pricing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm doing that now because my biggest thing was when I came into it, I had used years ago Lexington Law.
Right.
So that was my thing, and I had the premium. I'm paying $150. I was with them for a year. I was like, damn, I spent $1,000. And then and I went to these other people, found some other stuff. I was like, damn, they didn't even do me how. I was like, that's crazy. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But that's not a ripoff because, like I said, I was like, when you save it, when you look at these people when they're in situations that they're in, especially when some people are making $15, $20 an hour and can't get a house or car and all that other stuff, like, yo, it pays to have good credit. And being able to not have those deposits. So like that's definitely worth it to me. But yeah, I think my price point, I was always trying to stay under that $100. Even
Why?
though I think that was just from I think that was from more of a marketing standpoint of saying, hey, I'm under $100. This is the best $100 you're going to spend. And letting the customer kind of gravitate to that because I guess, like I've worked in corporate America after working in the military majority of my life. So, when I'm coming to these people, these people have houses, 700s, like they're not paying for credit repair. We know the top population that's really in need of credit repair, not somebody that doesn't really understand it and that kind of thing. So I thought like, hey man, putting it near $200, even though it's not affordable. I was trying to game it because I was like, because even when I was at the 75, I was like, damn, I'm gonna ask them to use Credit Dynamo, so I get the free credit, and then we run it from there. And then at one point, I was gonna do the promo and say, hell, I know you hate it, right? I know I'm gonna say it again. Eat the cost of like, hey man, you just sign up, you do this. I'll send out these first rounds of letters, like I'll eat that of whatever. And then, like you said, if you're gonna be with me for a couple of months or whatever, let's get these results and get you where you need to be. But I guess I haven't differentiated between my two audiences yet. Because I do personally like the people, like I said, that are goal oriented, you're doing a budget, doing all this other stuff, than the person that's just like, yeah, like it's usually the person that's coming, hey, I need it tomorrow for this. Can you get it real quick? Can it be done in 2 weeks? I'm like, your credit score didn't get like this in a week, bro. Or 2 weeks.
That'd
or
be
a
the
month.
truth. That'd
So
be the truth.
so I'm trying to I was trying to find that balance with my customer base, and that price point too, where it's worth it.
Right.
And that's really when I get off of most of my calls, I'll say, hey man, just get my do it yourself here, take yourself to this point, and then come work with me. Because if not, to your point, you're gonna be with me for a year.
You might not be with me to a year. Again, it depends on what you're doing. So my clients don't normally stay with me for a year because I give them a builder package. I give them other options. But the question would be, what are you?
Wait.
Yeah.
What's your builder package?
So when I
got the game. Go ahead, get the sauce out.
Oh no, you need big homie. I like you. I appreciate you. You need to sign up for my course. I'm gonna answer these questions here. I'll drop it in the chat for you because one's coming up on May 11th and May 12th. We have a 2-day boot camp where we covering questions. Okay, so let me grab it since you're asking for it. Hold on one second.
All right. How much is it?
It's different pricing depending on what you want, but the general admission is $97. Hold on one second, and I have a monthly mentorship as well. And that's $37 a month. So hang on one second.
Look at you with the subscription models on it. I love it.
And you know it. Give me 1 second. I didn't forget you, Santana. Give me 1 second. So, because of, again, this is why I say credit repair is not just us doing one simple thing, because when we're looking at the totality of what we are truly trying to do and how we're really trying to get things done, what I think we always miss is we're missing the fact that our clients need resources to help them get out of what they're getting into. You follow what I'm saying? So when we're looking at our clients and we're talking to them about the solutions, sending the letters is not the end all be all of what you're doing. There has to be something else, right? There's other things that they need to focus on outside of that, that if they do not focus on, their credit is going to stay where you are. I don't care how much stuff I delete. If you don't have other things on there to offset what you need to do, you're going to be in the same position 6 months from now, 10 months from now. So for me, I'm not just talking to you about repairing, I'm talking to you holistically about your file and all of the things that you need to do to be responsible. Okay. So that is why I was asking, how are you setting up the conversation when you're saying you have another CRM? How are you sending them the email information to be like, hey, this is what you need to focus on. This is what you need to make sure that you're working, because all of that is important. Like in totality, all of that is important to help your client reach their goals in real time. But to answer your question, after you finish market research, then you can look at your numbers and you can figure out who you want to be. Personally, if you were having a DIY tier, that would be the tier that I would have the $50 enrollment for. And that one, if you're the one generating the letter for them, that's the one that I would make $99 for that particular client. But again, that's completely up to you. That's how I would review that. Let me see. Camry. But did you have any, well, let me pause you for a minute. Let me go to Santana because I don't want him to lose his thought. What questions do you have for me, Santana?
Yeah, I lost my thought, but I was
Oh,
listening to
did you?
him. Yeah, it's fine. I always just get on for continued knowledge to try to boost up my stuff. But I like what you said about if you're gonna do the letters, how his $50 enrollment fee and then charge him $99 a month. I know the last time we was on, I was kind of teetering around what my prices were, but
Right.
I I'm probably gonna take that advice because then I was gonna probably add something to it. You said give him the credit dyno letters. We can basically, I mean the dispute panda letters. Basically, just go in, download them, and email them to them, and let them mail them out themselves. So
It
I
depends because I
just
have a DIY software where I don't do none of that.
okay. Well,
So yeah, they get to do all of that great stuff.
yeah, well, I'm gonna get there. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna sign up for this class you got this and get my DIY stuff going. But appreciate your time. I gotta jump off.
No
It's eight,
problem.
but
I'm sorry about that.
oh no, you
If you
good. You
got other
good.
questions, make sure you message me.
Yep.
Um, and I'll go ahead and respond back to you. Oh, and I'll send I'll send you the email today because I think the site is live for you to sign up for the mentorship. So
Got it.
I'll respond to your email today.
Okay. Sounds
Okay.
good.
No
Appreciate
problem.
it. Yep.
Anytime. You have a good one. All right.
All right. You
Go,
too.
or Mr. S, did you have any other questions for me?
No, I mean, I just wanted to. I know you were talking about systems and processes.
Mhm.
Um, I'm kind of going on pretty much what I've done. If
Mhm.
if I could share. Um, I was able to use the free, the free version. I locked in 10 clients from February till now,
Good.
and
That's
that's roughly
amazing.
what is it? 4,000 $4,000 roughly from the first month, and then $4,000 the second month. So totaling 8,000 with no overhead at all. So I signed up for Panda Pro, so this is going to be my first overhead cost. Now that I have, you know, the money coming in, you know, I can pay for it. It can pay for itself. Just like you said, I think you told me something very similar in the beginning. Keep it simple, and, you know, follow the flow.
Right.
You know, that's pretty much what I did. I attacked my inner circle or the people that are already following. I absolutely didn't know anything about credit repair. I was doing business funding. That was my high ticket item. And I found out a lot of business owners have bad credit. So I was like, man, I'm letting all these business owners slide through my fingers when I can be doing the credit repair and then afterwards following up with business funding.
Right.
But I've managed to pretty much set up my wholesale process with no overhead cost. So, you know, I pitch them with a price point, and I say when I get on the phone call with them, hey, if you do today, I'm going to knock $500 off, but you know, you got to commit today. So that usually incentivizes them to like, okay, let's, you know, what do I need to do? I got to pull the credit report. And of course, right, I have them come in to the chat with the credit report, either with experience, something that pretty much diagnose, you know, kind of small problems. And then I show them the credit dyno. And then I offer them two services. Hey, look, I can provide the letters for you, or I can give you a concierge service where I mail out the letters for you. And, you know, they usually go with me mailing out the letters for them on the system. And then I turn around and I invoice them for the cost of the letter.
Right.
And, you know, and they're fine with it. So knocking off the $500 and then offering the concierge service where I mail it out for them, that leaves me with no overhead at all.
I love it.
Let me ask you a question. What is your price point then?
What was that?
What is your price point you're at?
My price point, so I have different packages. And so for like a
I'm
full
so
credit
sorry.
repair,
Before
I'm
you
charging.
continue, Mr. S, do you also offer a bundle? That's what I wanted to ask why you were doing that too. Give me 1 second.
Could you say that again?
Do you also offer a bundle?
Yes. So I got three different packages. The bundle is at 800 to include everything. And outside of that first phone call promotion, it's 1,300. Pretty much the contract that you have. You know, I think you shared it, and you know, I was able to utilize that with the enrollment fee of $199, and be able to get started like that. So, you know, when I'm posting on Instagram and I'm posting on Facebook, start credit repair, you know, can get you started for $199 with monthly payment plans available.
Okay.
So that's also incentivizing for them too, right? They start with $199 for the first month, and the next 2 months they pay, you know, whatever they can afford. I usually try to get them within the first 90 days to pay the 800 in full. And then, you know, that's pretty much how it's been working for me. So like I'm on month 2 right now, and I have 1 more month to collect all the fees from the first month my first round of people that I got from my first month.
Okay.
In a sense.
So I just want to go on record real quick. We are not, I just want to go on record because this is recorded and I've taken the testing. We are not supposed to collect upfront for credit repair. In this industry, we are supposed to do the work and then collect the funds. The workaround for that is normally if you are encompassing it in something else. So for instance, you are paying me $3,000. That is going to include me working on your credit report for, hold on 1 second. My printer is printing and really causing problems. Hold on, let me pause it because I can't hear myself. So sorry, my printer was printing. So with that being said, you are not supposed to charge for credit repair up front. That is why the consult. Now I'm going to tell y'all personally, I'm a person that if you book a consultation with me and you miss 2 consultations, you will not get on my calendar for free. My calendar has it set where you have to pay for something to get in front of me because my consultation was for free and you missed 2 appointments, right? Out of respect for my time and yours, we not playing with my time. That's just how I do it. Okay. But you are not supposed to charge for credit repair up front. That's number one. Number two, the workaround for that is if you are doing business clients and those business clients come in and they need credit repair. Now you're saying, in order for me to get you the funding, which I'm going to collect 10%, 15%, 20% on the back end, for me to get you credit ready, I am going to go ahead and give you free credit repair while we're trying to
Oh,
get you
yes.
ready for business funding, right? So now I'm not outside of compliance. I'm not doing anything illegal because I am saying this is a complimentary service. What you're paying me for is this particular product here.
Yeah,
So
and I think
just
that's how I was getting around it, as I was charging it as consulting.
absolutely.
And like to his point, that was my big tick item was the funding, and that's why I was charging 10% on that. That's why I was not really, I don't want to say not really worried. When I kept saying eat the cost, it was more for I was buying my experience at that time, because I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I haven't done a ton of these clients. I haven't experienced getting a ton of these removals just yet. So I need success stories and I need trial and error. So give me what you got, and
So I want to
that.
shift your train of thought. If you're doing
Yeah.
trial and error, that's when you're giving them the work to do. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yes.
So when I do trial and error, and I'm just going to tell y'all how I market. When I do trial and error, normally once every quarter, I run a sale that says, hey, I'm looking for 5 people that I'm doing free credit repair for. You are required to keep credit monitoring on. Book a call so you can find out the details that are specific to you. When I then book a call with them, I let them know that I will generate the letters for them. I will send them the information and I will give them what they need to work on month for month. I'm not paying for mailing. Now, my back office team is uploading to Experian. They're faxing out all of this stuff for me, but the mail, which is what's going to cost me, is not coming out of my pocket. So I'm making my $8, right, off of the credit dyno.
Yep.
I'm now turning around and then getting a month, they get a text message that says, do you know anyone that needs credit repair? Because I pay for referrals. You feel what I'm saying? First call,
Yeah.
I'm asking for credit repair. Every month that I'm doing, every in between, when they get updates from me, they get updates day 7, day 14, day 21. Then on day 35, they get another message. And then 7, 14, 20, they're getting those messages. Every message is asking them to send someone to me.
Okay.
Right? So if I'm having a client where I'm trying to show or I'm trying to get a batch of people to say that I'm improving their credit, that batch of people are paying for their own mailing, because
Okay.
the only cost I'm eating is the cost that it's going to take for my VAs to pull their report or for them to upload it. You get what I'm saying? Because my
Yep.
VAs was going to do that anyway. So
Right.
they got to update, they got to upload, they got to do what they doing. I'm having my VAs do that, but I'm not going to do it. So I wanted to just jump in because I know what's right. And because I know it's right, I didn't want to like falter you guys. But ideally, on a month-to-month basis, for me to cover my expenses, my VA, my marketing, my savings for my business, my taxes for my business, to pay myself, and to leave money in my business bank account, the bare minimum that I can charge is $179 based on my overhead. And I want to let y'all know I'm the lifetime queen. So during my mentorship program, I literally tell everybody and I show everybody how to get lifetime products. Majority of my stuff, my website where it's hosted, is a lifetime platform. Majority of the things that I use, my email sequences that I send out, the only thing that I'm paying on a month-to-month basis is Dispute Panda and one other platform that I'm using. My website comes with a CRM, but it doesn't integrate, it's not as user-friendly as the one that I already have. So I do pay monthly for that. But other than that, my fax, my phone number is lifetime for my business. I'm very much a person that when you are coaching with me, when you're working with me, when I'm mentoring you, my job and my goal is how can you do what you do for less money?
Okay.
That is the goal. So when I talk about how much does it cost for you to do business, 10 clients for me, realistically 2 clients for me pays for everything that I need to pay for, because again, I'm paying for Dispute Panda. I'm paying for my fax, which if I would have been smart, I still would have been able to have my fax for free, but it's okay. I'm paying for my fax. What else am I paying for? I want to say there's only like 4 products that I pay for monthly, and other than that, everything else I pay for yearly. And when I say my 10 clients cover my yearly expense, so if all I have is 10 clients, I still can pay myself and I can cover all of my yearly expenses that I have.
Okay.
All right.
So when you're
Just
talking about including
just to
it
make,
to your business clients, I want you to think about, what does it cost for you to do business, and include that price to your business bundle for your consulting clients, Mr. Goat. What were you saying, Mr. S? I'm sorry.
no, it's just to make sure that I understand. When I send out my invoice, when I first talking with the client, it's the first work fee. It's labeled as first work fee. And I have them bring credit report to the conversation. So while I'm talking with them, I'm actually diagnosing their credit report.
You got it. You doing work.
Okay. Okay. Just to make sure that I'm on. That's how my. Okay,
Yep.
I've been doing it right then.
You're doing work.
Okay.
Now, what I'm saying, Mr. S, if you're doing it with so let's say you're offering credit repair services for your business clients. So your business clients come in, you already know their credit is not popping. You're then offering them credit repair to help them. You're rolling that cost in your business fee costs. You follow what I'm saying? But out of like, if I came to you for just credit repair, you can offer me a bundle pricing. Let me be clear. You can say, okay, if you enroll today and you pay me $350, the total cost of your credit repair will be $1,000. I'll take the $350 and the balance you can pay me out monthly. Now, if your client decides they want to pay it in full, that is fine. Your verbiage has to say that you're charging a monthly fee.
Okay.
Am I making sense?
Yep.
Yeah, that's I was thinking about the giving business owners free credit repair, and it's really crazy that y'all were able to bring that up. And I was like, man, that was right on point.
We try to be on time with the Lord. With the Lord. No worries. Any other questions, guys?
I got a couple more.
Go ahead, I'm here.
So you're at a $199 setup fee and $179 monthly.
So that's a great question. So for single persons, one person, my fee, I have 2 packages. One is my elite service for $179. The other one is my VIP service for $199. Right? Okay. My enrollment across the board is $199 for one person. For a couple, my enrollment is $399 for the couple and $249 a month for my basic package. If they need anything extra, meaning if I look at their credit report and I know they have bankruptcy, then they don't have the option to sign up for the couple $249 a month. They have to pay I give them a discounted pricing package, which is $999 per person. They still can pay the $399 enrollment, and then the balance of that they can pay out monthly. But in the invoicing tab, it says that the amount that they're set to pay is $999.
Okay. One other question.
Yep.
So when you're doing your consultation, same as I think all of us, right? Where you have your standard packages, right? But all of it, credit wise is all gonna come across differently. Are you changing how you're using dispute flow based on that consultation?
No, my flow is still my flow. The only difference is I tackle things differently. So if a person has bankruptcy, there's different letters, there are different disputes that I send out. There are different secondary bureaus. So the reason why I charge what I charge with the with the $199 package is because if the person comes in with repos, I already know. So if a person has anything outside of charge off and collections, they're automatically getting ushered into my $199 package. automatically, because depending on if you have bankruptcies, that is another seven to 8 different places that I'm going to have to dispute with you for.
Yes.
Right? So that's more paper, that's more stamps, that's you know what I'm saying? That's more everything. Now,
Got it.
on top of that, if I have a client that when I look at their credit report, I see that they have to do student loans. Now I'm adding an a la carte charge. So on top of this monthly fee, this is what you have to pay, but you also have to pay me $189 for me to help you consolidate your student loan and for me to get you on a repayment package. I do that with you on the phone, right there, right then. That's something that I do. You got to pay me the $189. Now, on top of that, I'm putting that in the notes so that every year I'm calling them and asking them if I have not gotten the student loans removed or forgiven. I'm now collecting that same $189 every single year just to help them recalculate their student loans, right? So that's a customer that's always in my sequence until the student loan is forgiven. Because remember, even though you get the debt off of the credit report, the debt's still there. Even if you get all the student loans removed, the debt's still there. So you're still able to go in and you're supposed to reassert or recertify for your discounts and your benefits every single year when it comes to student loans.
Okay.
Right? So that's another thing. So now if you have another client that comes in and they have bankruptcy, repo, and on all the regular stuff, now you can add additional fees. So that's why I say you have to look, because there are many secondary bureaus that has the information. So when I'm disputing my client's profile, I'm not just disputing with that one credit bureau, or not just the 3 major credit bureau and the 7 that are listed in Dispute Panda. I'm disputing with anyone and I'm getting the records for everything. So my clients are getting mail. So that's why I love it if they come to me and they're like, when they come for that 3-month window, that 5-month window where I'm doing so normally when I do that DIY special where they just sign up for credit repair and I give them free credit repair, only lasts for 3 months. The reason that it only lasts for 3 months is because by that time, I'm sending them information on month 2. Hey, do you want to upgrade to a done for you service? Hey, do you want to update for a done for you service? Because I know when those letters come in, you now have to book a call with me. Let's be clear. You don't get my time for free as a DIY client. As a done for you client, you can book a time and call me on my calendar. If you are a DIY client, you have to pay $37 to talk to me for 30 minutes. For me to talk to you about your file, for me to tell you what's going on with my file. Does that make sense?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions?
This has been very value added. I went to the first couple, when I started, and they were very good too, but this hit the nail on the head today. So I give you all props.
Thank you. Tell the people on Facebook. Tell the people, please, because I need people to
Drop
come on to the boot
your
camp.
Facebook or whatever it is, because I got you.
No worries. And I put the next boot camp in the chat. Everyone that comes.
My name's Julian, by the way.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask you, was what your name was. Awesome. Hey, Julian, welcome to the room. I appreciate you coming here.
Okay. I think the other question I was gonna ask was, so I know, like with my business clients, when I was doing funding based on and I mean this was on speed, right? When you're telling them to add authorized users, right? Account diversification, any of that. Do you have those as additional services or?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I sure do. I always have that as additional service, and I have a fee. So my fee for any trade lines that I'm ordering for my clients, if I'm doing one trade line, is $79. If I'm doing a package, it's $150.
All right, another personal question you don't have to divulge. Where are you getting your trade lines from?
Oh, I give that away in my boot camp.
Okay, done. I'm in there.
He said done. He said done. And you guys get a whole course module. So that's what I love about my boot camp, is that you can go back to it. So even if you're like, what'd she say? Okay. Because this turnaround, this boot camp, I'm not covering like all the information that was on the last one is already going to be in the videos. This boot camp, we're going to be covering like seriously, how do you have a consultation? What are the things that you're covering? What are the things that you're leaving out? And we're going to be covering the trade line, and I'm going to give you who I personally use and my company that I use. And I'm also going to teach you guys how to start your own trade line company.
Yep.
Because I think people miss that they can do that themselves, and that way they
Yep.
can collect the funds on their own.
Exactly.
Shout out to one of my mentees who randomly said it to me. She was like, "Oh yeah, I keep my own card. Like I go ahead and have one card." And I was like, "What?" And
No,
then I was
that
like,
makes sense. Because
"Wow,
so when I was doing my business, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, you're
So when I was doing my business funding, and I still do it, right?
fine."
That was my hack, right? Well, I was using my own personal card.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just charging them,
Mm-hmm.
because this was, but I guess kind of like the man said earlier, where he had, just a strong group of friends or whatever, business
Right.
people, and that's how I started.
Yep.
But I didn't do that, and then now the good and bad of having some money coming in is, to your point, I was wasting on, hey, let me get my ads out here, let me do this so I can scale it faster, and do this, that, and the other, and I really wasn't. I was trying to hit volume and say, okay, let me get like some,
Mm-hmm.
let me get some real data here
Okay.
of how successful we are, how whatever, and then, like you said, graduate to the different price points.
Right. I love
Now
it.
after hearing you guys, man, like, because and I had started too, I guess I did, because at one point I kind of did like what my man was doing. I was like, all right, man, I'll charge you 1,500 to get you funding ready, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I was adding you to, I was not faking it.
You were covered. You were being able to walk away with a little bit more because you weren't sending money out all the time, right?
Right, because I would say, hey, you know what? I will. My upfront cost was 1,500 to get you funding ready, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like he said, I'll say, hey, man, I'll do it for 900 or 750 while we're on the call, and then hey, you know what? You can pay half now, whatever, and then I'm gonna take this other amount for when you become funding ready,
Mm-hmm.
outside of on top of my 10% for you. So
Right.
I'll just get it later. So that was kind of my hack of, all right, my fin, for the 350,
Mm-hmm.
everything's kind of covered. And
Mm-hmm.
then and then I was eating it because I had funds in my dispute Panda and all the other stuff and the credits that I was doing just for my family, because I did all my family, right? Like, give me the credit. I'll pay you the 30.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pay the $30 for you to send
Just
out
give
your
me the
first
credit.
round.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give me the credit, right? And then I stacked credits doing that. But
Mm-hmm.
now, as I'm starting to grow and expand and really look more into this, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I definitely didn't think I was gonna stay in it long. I thought I was just gonna do the business funding piece, but
Mm-hmm.
this is fun. I like
Yeah.
helping people at that level, and like you said, hitting that. I guess one more question.
Yep.
Um, when you're targeting your ideal customers now, how are you breaking that down? How does that, like, I guess, infographic look for you?
Oh, that's so great. So my target audience is me, which is really weird, but it is me who I was when I started my credit repair journey, right? So my core clientele cannot afford $179 a month. That
Mm-hmm.
is why I offer the DIY for them, but I knew that I wanted to be able to help everyone transition, and I still wanted to be able to be paid, right? So that meant that I
Yes.
had to graduate who that core audience was. I am still, for transparency, I'm still learning and I'm still adjusting and I'm still pivoting. I have not gotten to the Dominique Brown level as of yet. So for me, it is really a lot of what does the algorithm say is reaching and what is converting. Right now, to be quite honest, I don't spend money on ads because I'm going to tell you that number one, my tagline is I'm the 9 to 5 coach, right? I help you
Mm-hmm.
become a beast in the credit streets. That is what I do for everyone. So I work my 9 to 5 and
Yep.
I coach when I get off of my 9 to 5, right? So every
Yep.
single day, I'm going to tell you that this week has been the first week in 7 months that I've only had one client on my calendar for a week. Like
Mm.
because I normally have
Wow.
friends and families that's referring me, because again, I know that my capital, and I'm just going to be honest and transparent here, guys. I have a son who just graduated college. He just bought his first condo. He's still
Congrats.
only 19. Thank you. He's still only 19, right?
Let's go.
I have I
Okay,
have
sorry.
a 18-year-old who's about to leave and go off to live with his brother in the condo so he can go to college where he is, because the condo is kind of like in between me and the college. So I have to be prepared to be ready to help him buy a car and get himself together, because my goal is for him to buy a unit as well, so that
Yep.
him and his friends can live in the unit and he can be living rent free while
Yep.
those overheads are taken care of, right? I'm trying to give them the financial freedom that I didn't necessarily have, which is why for me, I am still working a 9 to 5, because of the benefits that I get with being able to do that, right? But come this year, I'm gonna have to transition out of my 9 to 5 to work my business 100%, because of the ramp up and things that I'm getting. But the reality of the situation is I don't pay for marketing because it's not in my course budget. My marketing dollars, when I say my cost includes marketing, is for me to go to vendor events in spaces where I may not be able to be a speaker for that year, but those are my people that I'm going to be able to talk to. So like I look for Black empowerment events. I look for Hispanic awareness events, because I want to talk to my community about credit, because they don't know it. So when I talk about my marketing dollars, it's not for Facebook, it's not for ad spend, it's for me to go to events where my vendor and presence will be there, or for me to pay for a retractable banner, or for me to pay for tumblers that I'm going to take to give away at that event, right? That's where my marketing dollars is coming from, because I'm not an ad guru. I know where my zone of genius is, and I also know that I will pay once per quarter. I select one speaking engagement that I will pay to play to be a part of. Every other speaking engagement that I do, you have to pay me to be there. You have to pay me to be there. You have to pay for my book to be there. And if I'm paying to be there, I need a table so I can sell my book. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm looking at other ways that my money can be stretched a little bit further, for me to be able to make the impact in the areas in which I'm needing my presence. I know my purpose is there. So those clients, they may only be the clients that I do the DIY program for. So one of the DIY things that I do is I hold an event. That's something that I talk about in my mentorship, is I have a DIY platform and I hold a quarterly event that everyone can come in and they can leave with their letters in hand. So I bring the paper, I bring the envelopes. They got to get the stamps though. I ain't gonna do all that. But they come in, they pay only for the DIY platforms. I want to be clear. It's a free thing. All I'm making is the money off of the commissions for the DIY. But because they're in the DIY platform, I'm giving them the education that they need on what they need to focus on their credit. They can ask live questions in the room. And once they print off those letters and they see that it's too much, guess what they're going to do? Sign up to my program.
Okay.
Right? So it's all about what avenues of marketing are you willing to pivot and put yourself into. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. So it all depends on what you're doing. But definitely, guys, you have any other questions before I let you guys go? My son just told me his car got towed because he don't listen to his mama. That's what happens when you don't listen to your mamas. I just want to let y'all know.
Yeah. My sons are hard headed. I got a 7 and a 4-year-old, so I know what you're talking about.
I got a 6.
You know?
I got 19, 18, 16, 6.
And I love that concept because I bought both of my sons duplexes. So
I didn't buy them nothing.
My idea later, like you said, is by the time you get to college, we use this equity for whatever, and buy you a spot in that area and kind of go from there.
Mm-hmm.
But no, like to your point, yeah, I get it. I still got my W-2 where I do consulting for businesses and all that jazz. So like I'm trying to do this in my spare time, like you said, and ramp that up and VA it and all this other stuff. So
Absolutely.
just trying to...
And you can do it. I'm so excited. You asked, let me tell you something. You asked some dope questions. You and Mr. S. Mr. S always pulls up a question. So that's why I always love to stalk him.
Yeah, it's always it's always good because just like with the real estate we were talking about, house hacking. Um, I started off in the real estate industry, wholesaling. I've used business credit to do my fix and flips, and along the way, I picked up. Since I built business credit, I started finding business owners that are need business funding, and then credit repair, and it all kind of links together very lucratively.
Yes.
The credit, credit is just where it's at.
So true. That is
You
so
got
true.
it. You got it. And if you tap into the right audience, and that's why I was saying when it comes to DIY, that is another market that you can tap into to get more people to come in. But
so your DIY, let me get back to this. So I'm guessing you're using what? Dispute Beast?
Mm-hmm.
So you're using Dispute Beast.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's another overhead besides Dispute Panda, but that's your DIY. And you charge them $50 to start, or is it still the $199 to start? The
Nope,
DIY.
it's that DIY is all $50. I don't take any money off of that. I get my commission out of DIY, but I have enough clients to cover my DIY, so that's not an overhead for me.
Right, and that's kind of where, like I said, I didn't want to say like give it for free or eat it, but like to my point, spread the cost of it so I can hit my target audience, but then still be of service.
So what I did give away in a call before, and I'm not giving away nothing else for you, okay, Mr. Go, I'm not giving away nothing else.
Right.
But what I'm gonna tell you is what I gave away was before you decide to jump on the Dispute Beast. One of the things that I do is I put a soft marketing out there. Who wants to sign up for this? And then I send them the link. I send them like a enrollment form, right? Like, oh, by the way, you can sign up. Excuse me, you can sign up now. But I would say when you have like 20 people who say that they're ready to get it, go ahead and then enroll for Dispute Beast because you get the first 30 days for free.
Okay.
So that's how I would do it to see if you have people that want to do that. Because that way you don't touch it at all. You're hands off. The only thing that you're doing is sending them the email. If you have it, again, not everyone does that. In the mentorship group, I give away, I want to say like 3 months worth of email sequences. That's what's going up right now. And it's going to cover 3 months of conversation when it comes to credit, 3 months of conversation when it comes to home ownership, 3 months of conversation when it goes to auto. So you can either send the clients all of that information and stagger it out, or if a client comes in for a specific need, you only give them that one email sequence. And then you can build on it, but at least you have some information to start, right? So I think it all depends on where you are and what you want to do. But I would say because Dispute Beast is giving you 30 days for free, that would be how I would start, is do a feeler out there of the people that you need. Who wants to do DIY? It's only $50 a month.
So it's $50 setup, $50 a month?
There's no setup. I don't want to confuse you. With Dispute Beast, you physically get your own affiliate link. The client clicks on it, and then they pay the $50 for the credit monitoring, and they get the letters for free.
Okay, gotcha.
So every single month they get the alert and everything. They just go in and they click on it. Nothing else that you have to do.
Okay.
And then
now I've heard. Go ahead. I'm sorry. What were you gonna say?
Now I got a kind of a separate question about the boot camp. The link. I was going to purchase the content yesterday, but when I was looking at the link, I had one from I think the first one you did, and then the one that you dropped yesterday. So when I scrolled down to I think the first one that you did, it had what was it? The sale price for 97, or the $97 basic one, and then the one for the upcoming one to enroll. So my thing was, which one can I do to just get the content?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay, doesn't matter.
Nope. Either one of them, you'll get access to the The only difference is that if you click on the one for May 11th, it will automatically send you the information if you want to come into the live Zoom. If you're not able to make the May 11th, it doesn't matter. You still get the content from the
Okay.
previous class. Because
Yeah,
that information, that video is in the actual coursework, because we're doing more, we're piling on more this go around because it's going to be a live room.
Awesome, awesome. So might as well get the Zoom seat then.
Yep.
Okay.
Awesome. Any other questions, guys?
I'm good. I appreciate it.
It is my
Thank you.
pleasure. It is my pleasure. So follow me everywhere. I'm here in these streets. I will be back on Monday of next week for Standard Dispute Panda. So if you guys are having questions with flows, working things out, but any other questions that you guys have, just let me know. You can always book a call with me. I'm available after 4. Look, after my 9 to 5. But thank you. You know, I like to be honest, after my 9 to 5, don't be asking me to talk to you early. I cannot. I can't. But thank you guys for coming in and for being a beast in these credit streets and really helping people with purpose. If you guys need anything, you can always shoot me an email. I'm going to drop my email in the chat just in case. Oh, if you sign up for stuff with me, guys, please make sure you check your spam because they love to send my stuff to spam. Okay. I'm going to do a video on how to whitelist. I'm going to put that on my to-do list for Sunday. But yes, if you guys have questions, concerns, comments, and you need something, go ahead and shoot me an email. It is my pleasure to go ahead and support any way I can. And thanks for being a valuable part of Dispute Panda.
Thanks.
Welcome. Bye, guys.